Hi and welcome. In this lesson you will learn how to make biological drawings. The learning goals, you learn what the difference is between true to life and schematic drawings. You can distinguish if a picture is an external view, a longitudinal view, section, or a cross section. You know the drawing rules used when making a biological drawing. And sometimes it's called biological diagrams, sometimes it's called scientific drawings. They're all the same. I will refer to them as biological drawings. Okay, um, in biology, we try to look at organisms as accurately as possible. And one way to do this is to make drawings of them. So drawing organisms will also help you to remember important features of that organism. So compare it as taking notes in class. It will help you remember to remember what is learned. Um, and there are different kinds of drawings. The first one is true to life drawings, and in true to life drawings, you draw all the details as accurately as possible. So here you see a butterfly. You can use colors if you like, but you don't have to, as long as you draw all the details. Then you have the schematic drawings. And in schematic drawings, you leave out the details and only draw the most important features. So here you see the butterfly again, and all the details are left out, and you only draw the most important features. One thing to remember, don't use colors in schematic drawings. Then external view, cross-sectional, longitudinal section. If you look at an object from the outside, it's called an external view. If you would make a cross-section, you cut something along its width. So that's called a cross-section. You can also make a longitudinal section and then you cut something along its length. So here you see the external view from the outside, a cross section along its width, and a longitudinal section along its length. Then a little exercise. You see three different pictures and decide for yourself if it's an external view, a cross section, or a longitudinal section. You can pause the lesson if you want to take your time. I will give the answers right away. So the first one was a cross section, the second one external view, and the third one a longitudinal section. There are a few rules you need to keep in mind when you're making biological drawings. On the left you see a picture of an animal cell, and on the right you see me doing my best in paint. But the first rule is that you make large drawings. So if this would be your piece of paper, use at least the half of your piece of paper when making biological drawings. So don't make a little picture somewhere, drawing somewhere here in the corner, but use at least the half of your paper. Second rule, use a pencil. No excuses. Always use a pencil. And even when you add colors, in the true to life drawings, you use colored pencils. Draw the outlines first and then add the various parts. So in this example I made a schematic drawings. So the first thing I did, I made the outlines first, and afterwards I only drew the nucleus, and all the other details I left out. Then the fifth rule, draw what you see and not what your book says you ought to see, or the internet. So sometimes the picture in your book looks a little bit prettier than the picture you see when you're looking through a microscope. But draw what you see. So if you see an ugly cell, you draw an ugly cell. The sixth rule, don't make your drawings too complicated. You're not in art class, so keep it simple. Avoid sketching and draw using clear-cut lines only. Seventh rule, give your drawing a title stating which organism or which part of an organism you have drawn. So this is an animal cell, so in the title I write down that it is an animal cell. And include schematic, true to life, longitudinal section, cross section, magnification, etc., etc. in the title. So in the title, one has to see what you have drawn, which magnification, etc. If I want to do it perfect, I have to add here an external view because we didn't make a section or a D section in this cell. The ninth rule, add names to parts you recognize. Place a horizontal line between a part and its name. And of course, work neatly. So here's an example how you can draw an animal cell. First, I start with the title, so stating which organism it is, the magnification, cross-section, external view, blah, 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 blah. And I start with the outlines first. Clear-cut lines, no sketching. And because this is a schematic drawing, I only draw the most important features. So in this case, only the nucleus and the membrane, and the other parts I left out. Then use a ruler when you name the parts. So you make a horizontal line, nice neat lines, and make sure that the lines are between the parts and the names of the parts. So as you see, I made this drawing in less than a minute, so keep your drawings simple. Here are all the rules you need to keep in mind. You can pause the video if you want to write them down. You can also find them in your book. So as for the summary, in true to life drawings, you put in all the details as accurately as possible. You can use colors, but you don't have to. In schematic drawings, you leave out the details and only draw the most important features. When you draw the outside of an organism, you call it the external view of an organism. And you can draw the inside of an organism by making a cross-section or a longitudinal section. Another word for a biological drawing is biological diagram or scientific drawing. Goed, dat was het einde van deze les. Mocht je deze les ook in het Nederlands willen bekijken, kijk dan ook vooral even op het YouTube-kanaal van Biologie met Joost.